Yeah.
Well, you know, when I can relate to some of what you're saying. My head injury was not nearly as severe.
Oh, okay.
When I was at the gym taking a shower, all of a sudden the large round metal shower head
Oh.
blasted off the pipe from water pressure and slammed on top of my head. And I don't remember, I just remember taking a shower, and then I was in another room, fully dressed, and in a big fog. They took me home, and then they took me to the hospital. It was not nearly as severe as yours. But there's a lot of head injured people in this world, and each case is very, very different. And some of the causes of head injury is even just whiplash accident. And when the babies are tossed into the air, the internal injury is really severe. A head actually doesn't even have to hit something for a head injury. So there's different stages of rehabilitation. Now, you were in the hospital in a coma, and then once you came out, what happened? What were your symptoms? What was it like?
Well, immediately when I came out of the coma, I asked everyone that passed my bed, every 5 minutes, I asked them what happened to me.
What happened?
Where am I?
Yeah.
You know, and they would tell me over and over again, and then as soon as they came out of the mouth, I'd forget. And
So short-term memory loss.
Short-term memory loss. So
Yeah,
what
that's
they did,
typical.
they had to
Yeah.
write a little script of, you know, I was in a car accident, I was in a coma.
And when you were in the coma, when people came to visit you, did you have any
Well, there's three
thoughts?
stages to the coma. Which the first stage is shock. Like when I first got hit in the intersection, I even remember seeing the guy that hit me come over and look down at the car when the car was lying on me, and he would look down at me and started to cry.
Oh.
And then I even remember when the ambulance came and they sliced me in the neck. I remember the feeling of that when it had to cut me in the neck. And you know, and then I also remember my father when he came. My father was right there. The ambulance before the ambulance came, and then when the ambulance did come, they asked my father if he wanted to go with us because the guys in the ambulance told my father it doesn't look like he's going to make it.
Oh.
And my father,
You're amazing.
And my father had to go pick up my mom.
Oh.
And
Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm really glad you're here. I mean, you're a very valuable person to a lot of people, so I'm very happy you're here.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that I met you. Okay, let's talk a little bit about, you and I talked yesterday, and I think it was really important. And we both agreed that for a person with a head injury, and actually probably any type of condition or injury, but especially a head injury, there's kind of like a success team. Who are the people that we need to help us move through the injury? I thought the first person that you mentioned, I thought was the most important, that little person inside cheering.
right, yeah, there is a little person inside you that either he's asleep or else he pushes you to recover as much as you can.
Yeah. So that's that self-motivation.
Yeah. And that's what I relied upon. There was someone that force I had to keep me alive throughout the coma. I was bleeding internally. I had a fever of 104.
Wow.
You know, all that. But I had someone inside me fighting for me. Yeah.
That was great. And then you had your family and friends, of course,
my family.
Right? But you said you kind of dropped your friends after a while.
Yeah,
but
I had to because they were still doing the same things that got me into the mess originally. And
well, we'll come back and talk to them.